It's week 31. It's been good to get back into Dallas. It's been a lot of fun to go over. And actually, this is a very, very important week in terms of the history of the show. Um, uh, Sue Ellen's mother and sister come back into town, and Sue Ellen's sister's been recast by Mary Crosby. I think this is the first time that she's actually ever in the series, and uh, for those who know anything about the history of the show, this is a very important moment. It's a very special moment for the show, and she she was a delight to see during this episode. She's so miserable and manipulative. It's just, ooh, it was a wonderful view. The main crux of the story is surrounding Cliff brings Digger back into town, Dallas, and kind of just shows him around. And I can't remember if I mentioned this before. I don't think I did, but Digger's been recast um, by someone completely new who looks nothing like the original Digger, nor does he act anything like the original Digger. Is this necessarily a problem? Not fully, because it's another season. It'd be really bad if they recast during the same seasonal year, but they didn't really do that. So, and it's okay. It's a different interpretation, a different take on the character. I don't have a problem with that. This is a long-running soap opera, after all. Um, they discover that Digger has this weird genetic disease that he's starting to see symptoms of now that he's older, and his it, we learn in this episode that there was someone who was born before Cliff and someone who was born after Cliff, and neither of those children survived. And because this is a genetic disease, this means that Pam, who wants to have a child with Bobby, is now nervous because she believes that she would only pass it on to the child, and she gets told, well, the child might not make it after 6 months. And she can't even comprehend that. She doesn't want to have a child at all. And Cliff is really concerned now because John Ewing III, he believes that the Ewing grandchild is his. So he believes that he has put this disease onto this child. So Pam goes to the doctor to try and figure out whether her she will pass it off to a child if she has one, and also if John Ewing III has it. She's trying to figure this out. Doesn't really figure it out, and Sue Ellen is not really showing any sort of love towards the baby. And the episode ended. It kind of began with Pam was just loving on the baby and just was telling Bobby that they were going to try and have a baby again. And Bobby was delighted because all Bobby wants is to have a child. And Sue Ellen was delighted. No, not Sue Ellen. Miss Ellie was delighted to hear that Bobby and Pam were going to do whatever it took to get a child, which I thought was really creepy that she was that delighted about it. But by the end of the episode, it's all about Pam saying, I don't want to have a child anymore. And Bobby's like, I don't get you. You just said that you wanted a kid again. So what is different now? And she's too afraid to tell him because he'll be able to figure it out about John Ewing III. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So it was interesting. It was a very, um, it was a dramatic ending, but it wasn't a sinister ending. It wasn't a J.R. Ewing ending. It was very much a sensitive ending because Pam and Bobby are such a great couple together. They're just so much fun to watch, and they have a lot of problems. They have a lot of issues, and I think that's probably why they're such an engaging couple. They're one of the most believable couples of the entire show. Them and Miss Ellie and Jock. So, am I looking forward to next week? Absolutely. I think next week's going to be great. And I guess we'll see you guys next time. Um, and until then, I hope you keep returning with me back to South Fork.